This video will cover an overview of the ship log feature in the Offshore Navigation VBA program. The ship log data is entered and displayed on the ship log page. There are three sections to the ship log. On the right upper is the voyage information, which includes the departure and destinations. This is not necessary information. It doesn't have to be supplied in order to use the ship log, but it is certainly useful so that the calculations for your distance to destination have some basis. You can set the departure and destination ports manually, just typing in and then typing in the latitude and longitude of both those points. But if you've already established a route to cover this voyage, as I have here, Bermuda to Flores, I can select that from the route drop-down list, activate the route, and it would then populate those departure and destination values. It also is, if there are waypoints in this route, they will be displayed in the calculation form, which I'll cover in a few seconds. So once that data is established, you don't really normally have to refer to it, except if you want to go back and edit one of the log entries that you've already established. This is a complete log entry for my voyage from Bermuda to Flores back in 2005. Below that is the set and drift from current that you can establish when you enter a log entry. If you believe you're experiencing a current, you can enter the set and drift values, and the program will then apply the set and drift to your DR data entry. Eventually, the program will calculate the set and drift based on two position fixes. Said, other than when you want to work with the set and drift, don't really need this right side of the form. So for most of the voyage, you can just reduce the form to make it smaller, take up less room on your screen. The data entries are all done in the ship log entry section. The first step is to specify the type of log entry. The program provides three types of log entries: a fix, which is a fixed position from GPS, celestial, or any other way that you've been able to reliably determine your ship's position. An estimated position, you can enter an estimated position in if you have a line of position that you think is fairly reliable, but you're not going to call this a fix. Estimated positions really are only in there for documentation. They're not used by the program to calculate DRs or for any other purpose other than just residing in the log file. However, you can go back and edit an estimated positions later if you decide it is reliable for a fix and change it to a fix. Without a GPS on board, the more common log entry would just be a DR, which is based on which allows the program to calculate the position based on time since the last log entry, course and speed, or recorded log value. For the DR, the course and speed will be used to calculate the dead reckoning position. The program, you have a choice. You can enter either or both speed, average speed since the last log entry, or the distance covered by a recording log. The program, if you enter a recorded value, a log value, the program will use that, as it's generally more reliable than an average speed. If you don't have a recording log or aren't using it for the voyage, then leave this blank. The program will make it a -1 just to identify that the log values are not being taken or used in the calculation of a DR. Pressure and temperature can also be recorded with each log entry, but again they're not required, as is the apparent wind direction, apparent wind speed, and comments, anything you want to say in, such as if you've changed sails or any other activity that took place at the time of the log or just before the log entry was made. Now I've also got the button set up here to record whether the engine is on or the generator is on at the time of the log entry. This so you can record engine use in engine hours and generator hours during the voyage. Whether you want that or not are established back here on the ship data page, and at the bottom here you can indicate whether you want to log engine hours or generator hours. If you turn them off, then those buttons disappear. They don't take up space. You can also go back and edit a log entry. Say we were going back, here's a DR. Maybe I wanted to change something. I wanted to modify the speed. I can do that. And once I've changed it, then the update log entry will become active. If it's an erroneous log entry, it shouldn't have been in there in the first place. You can just delete it. Now, having established several log entries, then the other form that goes along with the ship log are the log calculations. Again, this one could be kept displayed on the screen too, either as it is now or in a reduced form, which just gives you the last position data in the log for the log entry. Expanded out, the second section here just shows the run since the last log entry, which tells you the calculated course and calculated speed, any set or drift of the current that was applied, and the distance covered since the last log hour and the time since the last log hour. And finally down below is the distance made good to the destination and the distance made good ratio. So it says I made 8.8 miles to the good, and the ratio of the course and speed that I recorded gives me a ratio of 1, which means I'm heading right for the destination. If you're not heading, if you've had to tack away from the destination or can't hold the heading to the destination, then this value would be less than 1. The next section is as long as you've gone more than 24 hours, it'll show the distance covered in the last 24 hours. The effective course over the ground and speed over the last 24 hours, the distance covered, and again a DMG value in terms of nautical miles and a DMG ratio. Finally, on the far right, if you have a route active, it will show the next waypoint, the name of that waypoint, its position, and then the course and distance to that waypoint. Now you can, as I said, reduce the calculation form down to something that you can just put in the corner of the screen if you want to keep it up, and you can step through it. You can go back to the first log entry, step through each one of them, or just go to the last one. You can hide it by just clicking the hide button, and you're back in the ship log. Now, one thing you can do with the ship log besides reducing the size is also to minimize it. That keeps it active. You can put it anywhere you want to get it out of the way of the screen, and then you can just call it right back up when you want to do a log entry. Anyway, that's the overview of the ship log function. There's a later video which covers the actual entering of data on a voyage.